Hi, I'm Ed Mungen. I'm up here today in the deep woods, right where last November this tree came down on me.
Started out like any other day. We had a big breakfast, we all met up. We did a previous hunt before that and decided it was getting later in the day that we were going to hunt this back out to the road.
Well, we were here hunting deer. I've got a gang of guys. We've been hunting together since 1985. Somebody tried to get a hold of me on the radio and I didn't answer. So that went on a couple of times, 2-3 times. I didn't answer. So
he was behind me, and guys in the woods were trying to reach Ed, and he didn't respond. I didn't know what had happened at that point, so I walked back to find out where he was. And that's when I found him laying next to the tree behind me.
And I was in a fairly open spot behind us on a ridge, and I tried to call 911.
We just finished up a check on a deer hunter in the central part of the county when we received a call of a hunter that was struck by a tree.
The whole day we've noticed some trees down the trails, tree branches were constantly breaking.
Knowing what I knew, I responded emergent to the location. Upon arrival on the scene, myself, PCO Romzek, and 2 EMS personnel loaded up into my patrol truck.
There was no roads to get to Ed. We actually had to drive the patrol pickup through the middle of the woods.
I was able to get around the berm, and a couple of members of the hunting party had already went and cleared the path to Edward.
Well, the wardens were pretty fresh on what was going on. I don't know that they had a whole lot of information until they got here. They knew somebody was hurt, but they didn't know what had happened. And the 2 amazing ambulance ladies just went right after it. We stepped aside and let them do their thing. They got him on a backboard and a neck brace, and they put him in the back of the conservation officer's truck, and they drove him out.
And at this time, the personnel said that they would like to work on Ed while we drove to the hospital.
Van Wagner then had to drive the ambulance so the 2 EMS personnel could continue to work on Ed as I followed him to the hospital with his patrol pickup.
And I had radio communication with the helicopter that was in the sky, and this is something we have been trained on in our academy. The chopper was just getting there, and so we pulled up, they jumped out, we loaded Ed up into the chopper, and he was gone. From there on, we were just wondering what happened to him.
I opened up my eyes and I'm looking up at the ceiling and I'm saying to myself, this can't be. Never been here before. And the next time I woke up, I'm looking at the same ceiling and I'm saying the same thing, and my wife walked in.
She is the rock in this family. This whole time, she stayed. Shout out to Alex and the EMS people and all the hunters, because the fact that they got him to this hospital so quickly is, I think, a big part of why he's here, number 1, and number 2, why he's able to walk.
I believe everything has to be put in place just right. 2 game wardens, half would be in the area. The 2 EMTs, they teamed up with the game wardens, and the 4 of them managed to come back in here, get me loaded up in the back of the warden's truck, drive me out to the ambulance. The ambulance needs a new driver because the 2 EMTs are working to keep me alive, so Alex, the game warden, becomes Alex, the ambulance driver. There's a helicopter pilot that knows how to fly a helicopter on a very windy day, and he gets me to a hospital down at Wausau, where a surgeon was that X-rays said that more than likely I might not even live through the surgery. He had to operate, and if I did, I'd never going to walk again.
To experience an event like this in my career, and especially with the outcome that it had, is something that I'm going to always remember. And I fortunately get to keep in touch with Ed, and he calls me and tells me when he's going to go fishing and everything like that. It couldn't have happened to a greater guy with such a positive result.
As conservation officers, we do primarily patrol in remote areas. I do think it was greatly beneficial that both officers were there, Alex and myself. He was a field training officer and I was a probationary conservation officer that day. We happened to be in that area the time the call came out, and there was 2 of us, and I believe that there needed to be 2 of us to successfully complete that.
And something like this happens to you, gets you to thinking. I'm 100% sure that there was some divine intervention in this story, or I wouldn't be here today walking. I thank you, Lord, for a brand new day, for arms and legs to work and play. And I believe that when this tree came down on me, God took the opportunity to let me know He's been listening. So that's my story.